Come on. I'm the only person let's
Conor Benn has officially kicked off his training camp in preparation for the highly anticipated rematch with Chris Eubank Jr. Meanwhile, over in Eubank Jr.'s camp, the focus has been on tightening fundamentals, cleaner footwork, stricter discipline, and a more refined defensive approach. His team is drilling patience and calculated counterattacks, confident that with measured aggression and sharp timing, Eubank can take control of the rematch and outbox Conor Benn over the distance.
So I know what that's like for Conor, and I know he'll come back and he'll give it everything, and I'm sure he'll get the win.
Joe Cordina also weighed in on the rematch, expressing full confidence in Conor Benn's comeback. According to him, Benn has the mentality and explosive style to return stronger than before, and he believes this time Benn will settle the score and get his revenge against Chris Eubank Jr.
But this time, what I know, there's a few issues last time, which I can't talk about, is it? But this time, see, when we talk this before, sorry mate. This time they'll do it right, and you'll see a different Eubank, and I think he'll finally make an easier job. But then again, you don't know with Benn. He's very determined young kid, very fit, very powerful, and he's young. And he'll fight his heart out. So I'm expecting a good fight. I still think Eubanks will be stopping.
3. Ronnie Davies, a key member of Eubank Jr.'s team, revealed that there were internal issues during the previous fight that affected their performance. However, he assured that this time, everything behind the scenes is in order. Davies said he expects a more focused, more precise Eubank Jr., one who could potentially stop Conor Benn inside the distance. Still, he didn't dismiss Benn's threat, acknowledging his relentless determination, explosive power, and undeniable fighting spirit. Meanwhile, Conor Benn's camp has zeroed in on a different kind of approach. His training has revolved around explosive power conditioning, high-level stamina work, and relentless endurance drills, including intense cardio, heavy bag sessions, and precision-based jab work. This time, Benn's team is focused on elevating his ring IQ, sharpening his timing and pressure management, and ensuring he can apply non-stop aggression without losing composure. They believe that his growing comfort at higher weights, combined with a calmer, more calculated mindset, will allow him to control distance, spot openings, and punish mistakes with far more accuracy. The mission is clear: blend his trademark aggression with tactical discipline, giving him the tools not just to brawl, but to outsmart and outwork Chris Eubank Jr. when it matters most. Additionally, Johnny Nelson weighed in with a blunt assessment. He acknowledged that Chris Eubank Jr. will back himself fully going into the rematch, but pointed out that nothing in Eubank's last performance suggested any real evolution, even after considering factors like weight adjustments. Nelson went further, saying that if Eubank genuinely had the firepower to stop Conor Benn, he would have done it already. In his view, Benn's grit, maturity, and noticeable growth as a fighter now tilt the odds in his favor. Eubank may talk confidently, but Benn's development makes him the one to watch this time around.
Chris will give himself every possible chance at scoring, but in reality, personally, I just think the last performance of Chris, I thought, you've got nothing left. There's no more improvement on what I'm seeing there. And I know there was a weight issue and all the build up to it. I thought there's no more improvement there.
Does that mean you think do you think Conor Benn will be better in the second fight?
Yes.
Does that mean that you think that by him being better and there's no more left from Chris Eubank, that Conor Benn's able to bridge the gap, get an outcome in his second fight?
Without a doubt.
You do.
He couldn't have done any more. If he could have knocked out Conor in that fight, he would have done. He just couldn't get rid of him. And Conor stuck it. So regardless of him being surprised that Conor stuck it out a lot more, he couldn't get.
Carl Froch also offered crucial tactical advice for Conor Benn. He urged Benn to maintain composure in the ring and not rush his attacks. According to Froch, Well-timed feints and a disciplined jab can be just as effective as raw power, especially when trying to land clean, meaningful shots. He stressed that patience and timing often win fights just as much as aggression does.
I'd like to see you calm it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just on the outside, just the movement.
Yeah,
just steady it down.
that's boring though, Carl.
No. On the outside, man. You don't want to be chucking energy away and burning down the bar. Think of it.
It's boring.
No, it's not boring, because then you get in range and make it exciting. I'm talking about technically on the outside, and I'm not telling Tony Sims how to do his job, but just calm me down a little bit on the outside. Little feints, little jabs, little movements, just little shows. Have a look at this, trigger him, and then have a fight with him.
Yeah.
Don't burn anything. Waste 12 rounds, man. He's tough. One thing about him he's inherited from his dad is a toughness.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a massive banger, mate. I've done a lot of sparring with Chris Eubank.
Froch also addressed Eubank Jr.'s comments about fines, saying that while his concerns might be valid, they should not become a distraction from the task at hand. Froch reminded both fighters that professionalism and focus are key, especially at this stage, and that outside issues should not interfere with their performance on fight night.
He's got his reasons for being sort of annoyed with Eddie Hearn and the British Boxing Board of Control, because he's been fined quite a lot.
Yeah.
Got fined for not making the weight. I know he's supposed to make the weight. I think it was £500,000. But the Board of Control do a fantastic job, and they're there for the safety of the fighters. And I personally know Robert Smith, and he does a great job. So for him to slag off Robert Smith, I think that's a mistake, and one that he'll probably regret. I ain't got a problem with him calling out Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn should sit there and keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be speaking. And I know he tried to say, I was going to say something about Ricky Hatton, but that, in terms of that press conference and then that setting, it's irrelevant, because they're talking about the fight. They're there to promote the Eubank Benn rematch.
Eddie Hearn acknowledged both fighters for producing a dramatic first encounter and officially confirmed that the rematch is set for November 15th at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He also urged caution, noting that while fans love the intensity, repeating a war like the first fight could come at a cost. Hearn emphasized the need for smart preparation, proper recovery, and long-term health awareness, particularly when it comes to Conor Benn's well-being and career longevity.
I have to give, despite our differences, I have to give Junior respect, because he went to some deep places that night. Both of them did. And they're choosing to run it back and go to the same places where they will definitely be going in this fight. So, the first fight date, which was September 20th, didn't get off the ground because, Eubank physically said he wasn't ready for that fight. So we're here now, November 15th, back at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and back for another thriller.
Liam Smith shared his prediction for the rematch, saying he expects Conor Benn to come in even more aggressively this time. He pointed out that Chris Eubank Jr. is beginning to show signs of aging, and suggested that the intensity of their first meeting may have taken something out of him. According to Smith, Benn's youth, engine, and rising confidence could be the deciding factors that tip the fight in his favor.
Regardless of the weight, I think I bring Conor into the fight more next time, regardless. I think Chris is getting older and starting to look older, and I think that fight won't have done him any favours. I think that'll have put even more miles on the clock with Chris. Seeing Chris training with knee braces on, elbow braces, stuff like that. I'll give Conor a real chance next time.
Peter Fury weighed in as well, calling the rematch a true 50-50 clash. He advised Conor Benn to avoid falling into the trap of reckless pressure and instead lean on his boxing IQ, using movement, timing, and clean technique. Fury believes that a calculated approach, rather than pure aggression, will give Benn the best chance to take control of the fight.
No, I don't know. I think Benn can do more, and he's going to learn from it, the first one. So, and Eubank looked drained at that weight. I'm surprised he's gone in again for the same weight, same rules, because you could see he looked like he was struggling to get to that weight, and it showed in there at times. So I think it's a 50-50. Benn's in with a better chance this time than the first time.
Ben said he's going to box more in the second fight. Is that the game plan you would deploy, or?
Yeah, you've got to box. Look, it's called boxing for a reason. You've got to box. When you're looking for big shots and take somebody's head off, somebody will pick you apart. This is skill set in there. At this level, you've got to box your way in.